Everybody get up, it's time to slam now. We got the real jam going down. Welcome to the Space Jam. Here's your chance, do your dance at the Space Jam. Alright.
Hey, what's going on, guys? It's me, Train Man, and welcome back to Rebel Space Program. We are approaching our destination. And I'm gonna make a burn here. I'm gonna use maneuver nodes for this, just to make it a little bit that much more precise. That's a little bit too much maneuver. What I want to do is, first of all, normalize, make our orbits virtually the same. And from there, go about actually docking this thing. That's not helping. How far away are these? 20 kilometers, that's not good. No, that's not helpful. Oh, that might be, though. .4, getting better. 2.1. Nope, other way. Well, you guys know what I can't wait for? The asteroid redirect mission. Ba-bum! Yes, it is coming, people. Look at all the torque we have on this. How much RCS fuel do we have? Okay, plenty. So if we run out of fuel, which isn't that likely. 300 meters per second burn? Take 3 minutes? Well, I didn't do maximum throttle for that burn test, but let's go to our node. I'll start a minute away. If it does take that long, we're not going to be able to do it anyways. We'll have to send a rescue mission out to this ship. That'll just complicate things even more. Whoa, what's with the lag? CS H. We can finish this with RCS. I was wondering if spinning it would do anything. Apparently not. Let's get back on target. Yeah, this burn is... We're going to run out of fuel. Which is very much a shame. Because we haven't got any more on board. Alright, so... in lieu of finishing out this burn with the, That's not good. Let's just send out a rescue mission. Later we'll ditch this thing. I think we've got enough Delta V to bring it back into the atmosphere. Alright, so let's go to the Space Center and build something to take these guys home. And their science, of course. That's the more important part. It's gotta be rather simple, really. I'm not entirely sure what resources we have at our disposal. Oh no, we don't want to load one, do we? What do we have for propulsion? Do we have the mainsails yet? No, we don't. We probably don't want to use the large stuff yet, other than the cockpit, which I'm gonna have empty because the ship is gonna be remotely controlled. Let's grab a giant RCS tank and throw it on this thing. Do we have those giant RCS tanks yet? We do. Wow. We're gonna actually want a decoupler. And a pair of parachutes after a docking port, which aren't in this tab. Docking ports are over here. There. Docking ports. There's some parachutes on there. That's not good. Let's put them there. Gonna want some solar panels and batteries. The whole thing was with this, we're gonna be putting. That's not the right kind of battery pack. We'll work on that later. We need a poodle. Actually, we don't even need this large of a fuel tank. That should do. We don't want that on there right now. We need some batteries. Help us through the night. Plenty of batteries. Because why not? Not particularly worried about aerodynamics right now. Bring this up so that we can put a giant rocket under it. Gonna need one of those giant thick decouplers again. Skip her underneath it. Now that alone probably is not going to be enough to get this thing off the pad. So what we're going to want is we need some thingy-mabobs. Wrong one, this. These guys. I'm modeling this after the Kerbal X. If you guys know that from the base game. It's one of the little rockets they give you in Sandbox. Let's put nose cone on this. I wanted to experiment with space planes, but then I realized we don't have any of those parts, so we're not going to be experimenting with space planes right now. Alright, so we're going to need more fuel lines. Fuel lines are under propulsion. I need to keep saying that to myself because, well, frankly, I keep forgetting. But, it lets me remember, is what I'm trying to say. And memory is the key. Nope, that's not helpful at all. I'm gonna do the same for this side. But I put it there. We gotta check the other side now. What did I do with it? Now I put it halfway in the white. Nope. Alright, this should be more than enough to get us up, and away. But I'm gonna give it the extra kick just in case. Now, why am I getting these things? Why am I in here? I don't want to be in here. What I need is the big decouplers. Yes. Molto grande. No, that's not helpful at all. No, that's not good. Because of the fuel lines. I was gonna put some solid fuels on this to help it up, but never mind. Wrong buttons. What we need is that. Just like it. There. Hopefully that'll do the trick. But now we need our robotic module to actually take it up there. And for that, frankly, what I'm gonna do, because this is only a temporary change, I'm just gonna do that. Stick it on the front, no harm, no foul. And we're gonna name this S1 Intrepid. Don't think I've named anything that yet. Shuttle. Now, eventually we're going to have one of these docked to the space station at all times to use as an escape pod. But right now, this is going to go fish out our people lost in space. Gonna do our staging. Oh wait, those shouldn't be in the same stage. That in there. These guys, we're not having a stretch like the Saturn V's used to. Actually, this ought to be fired with them. And we're going to have two different stages of decoupling action. These aren't dead on. And now I've screwed up the... I have to go back through and do the fuel lines because I screwed that up. Oh, there. Nope. No. Alright. One fuel line. Ah. I could actually have said tordial fuel ducts and it would have sounded even more evil. Simple procedure though. If you've done asparagus staging before, first of all, I'm not sure if I've ever dealt with asparagus in real life, so I'm not sure why it's called asparagus staging, but I can take a gander. I know why it's called onion staging. I know why onion staging is known that way. Let's shut this up. Something that we won't have to do come the asteroid redirect mission. Also, we're gonna have even bigger parts. I wonder how that's gonna alter the tech tree. I wonder how the mod guys are gonna respond to the alteration of the tech tree. Might be a little while before Interstellar gets their stuff together again. I think we should use Sepatrons on this, but that's just me. If we have any catastrophic failures, I'll go back and put Sepatrons. Alright, so first things first, we need to find the bottom stage. This is one. This one belongs to the second stage, so let's find out which one it is. This one. This one belongs to the third stage. You can stay. We need a second candidate for the first stage of these guys. Is it you I'm looking for? Yes. Now the only one left is this guy. That guy. Alright. So let's take this guy to orbit. Or let's try. If this fails, I'll be very upset. It might just be too large. Then we will have to strap solid fuels to it. God help us figure out exactly where they're going to go. I might have to do some very unusual bits and bobs in terms of extra parts. Oh, crap. To vehicle assembly. I need to get these guys out of the cockpit. I will say that was a pretty quick turnaround time for building a spacecraft. Crew. No, no, no. Launch. Alright. These need to be in the correct stage. These can be down here. Let's just get this stupid thing to orbit and end the episode. I'm avoiding saying things that would force me to keep in the last several failures, because I am tempted to just go through and cut them all out, which is what I probably did, because I'm going to let this episode run long. Not worrying about the overheating. Gotta put more powerful rockets in under there. Save the 45s for the outside. That's what I should have done. But then I wouldn't have any gimbaling once I made it to orbit, so that's probably not the best decision. So we're approaching 200 and we're approaching 10,000. We're going to reach 200 first. I'm going to let us keep accelerating, because we're going to lose that speed once we drop these solid fuel boosters. Blow up anything of ours this time. Now we're losing speed. Or not. Alright, these cores will hopefully carry us to orbit. Or perhaps not, I'm not entirely sure. We're barely accelerating. Although, the more fuel we burn off, the quicker we're going to be accelerating. Again, this is the farthest we've gotten, thank goodness. Still accelerating, so that's good. And we've still got all of this fuel. Thousands of units of fuel. Thought I saw my... I thought I saw my thing down there jerk. I'm used to it freaking out because I've been playing on the modded version with Ferrum, and my rockets never tend to continue going straight up. They tend to end up upside down at one point or another. Which is always a bit frustrating when you're trying to launch a few dozen satellites. And every launch, it takes maybe 5 or 6 tries to get the thing to go all the way up in the air. I'm getting better at... you get so trained to just do your gravity turns really quick and not really care about the thickness of the atmosphere, but that thing trains you to do just the opposite. You want to keep going straight up for a while, or else it's going to stop really working. I didn't put in any RCS jets on this thing. That just occurred to me. Gee, I'm so smart today. Man, I can't wait to have that mainsail because this is just arduous. Maybe I should have just gone with something like the, You know what I could have done? I could have just launched another Minmus tri-lander, although swapped out the things for the parachutes because that's a launch system we've already used. Damn it, why didn't I think of that? Because I had to build the shuttle. Oh! Oh! Alright, so we're gonna reach orbital velocity. I'm gonna get this thing in orbit, and we still have that extra stage for orbital maneuvering. Oh! There we are. Alright. Let's edit our interaction with this craft. Ah. In what dimension are we off? That's better. 0.7's pretty good. Alright, I'm just gonna ditch this. 14 seconds of burn. Let's find our node. Should be around here somewhere. Let's just flip all the way around trying to find it. There it is. Mostly down. And some to the side. Alright, 2 minutes. We have a 14-second burn. Let's just jump pretty much straight to it. I should have checked exactly how much fuel was in that tank, because that's how much we can not bring next time. Next time I'll have a mainsail, though, so I won't be too worried about that. Alright, let's go for the intercept. That was loading delay, wasn't it? There's our target. Oh, geez. Turn off, turn off, turn off. Come back! I love you! Alright, let's adjust this so that we have another intercept. Another really good one. .6 is good enough. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. That's perfect. Alright, so let's spin around toward our target's retrograde. And proceed to move towards it. Uh-oh. Oh, that was loading delay. And that was some other kind of delay. That was seeing the moon out of the corner of the screen delay. I could tow this thing to the space station. Oh wait, no I couldn't. I had to decouple this. Oh, I could dock to it with this. Or with that. Whatever. We're gonna leave the light on for him, and we're gonna switch over here. Alright, who's first? Special! Take the data. Good, good. Yeah, reset that experiment. Alright. Let go. You have always been the special one. Where is... There it is. One of the reasons I wish we had a nav while on this thing. And of course that highlighting the cursor. I do remember someone suggested getting rid of that, or turning it off, and every time I've forgotten to do it. Because nothing else has made me think about it. I see it all the time, but it's like, it's one of those things. I don't even know why I turned it on in the first place. What do I think I'm going to lose my cursor every day? It was useful in, like, games like Bridge Construction Set, where the cursor is so strange looking that it's just... I don't know. It wasn't that it was strange looking, it was just that it was basically damn near invisible. Grab. Board. Yay! Alright. Who's next? Whiny. Alright, this has a remote control unit on it, so we're gonna send this thing to burn up once we're done with it. Whiny. Bill, you're going last. The last time I made you go last, you died. So, I don't know about what I'm doing here. Alright, R. Go down. Go this way. I got here much quicker than the special man. Whoa, too much. Feel myself thinking that a lot when I'm using these EVA packs. That's why they're only supposed to be fired in short bursts, I suppose. Just like an assault rifle. Short, controlled bursts. As everyone should. Grab. Forward. Oh, I didn't bring the science. I'll have to have Bill get the other science. Bill, you gotta do this, man. I don't know which one you were in. I don't remember which one. Alright. You gotta take the science. Take the data. Good. Whoa. Whoa. Stabilize. Stabilize. Collateral damage is not a concern, so you can smash into those solar panels all day. I know you didn't, but I was tempted to make you. Ah. Let's go! Again, I wish I had a nav ball so much while doing this. It would make things... It would make me happy. Grab it! Board! Will this dump all my experiments? Yeah, it did. Damn it! No, it didn't. I didn't bring over 30 cans of data. Okay, well, whatever. Let's get this home. Flats, Midlands, Lowlands. Yeah, no, I got everyone's. Gotta go through all these now. Keep me all the data, alright. One more thing to do. Fare thee well. I don't feel like crashing this thing. I changed my mind. Alright, Intrepid's coming home, though. Quick F5. I just want to come down, preferably on land, but not necessarily. And I do want to come down on the light side of Kerbin. Alright, well, I guess we're coming down in water. Unless I do this. No, that won't help. Alright, yeah, we're coming down in water, guys. Spin around to the light side of the planet. And we're just gonna get on our way down to deliver all of this glorious science. It's a cat. Deliver all this glorious science to the scientists and researchers, and then we're gonna pick out exactly what we want them to research with those science points. Okay, some things I need to get rid of. Bye-bye. I very much like how you can decouple anything now. And we're not going to be needing this, will we? Hope not. Oh my god, I forget how ridiculous that gets. Finally, Camney and Bill on their way to destiny. Don't know exactly how long they've been out there, but they've transferred ships 2 times since they've left Kerbin. There's our debris. And we should stop now. Stop the time warp, I mean. So for the record, I'll say it now. If any of my commentary sounds weird referencing things that supposedly didn't happen, that's because I cut out a bunch of failed launches of the Intrepid. You may have noticed the abrupt change in design between the original vehicle assembly building thing and the final launch, and also possibly a change in attitude. I got a bit grumbly having to deal with the 3 guys who kept sneaking into the cockpit while I tried to... Wow. I was looking for temperature and ablative shielding. I've been playing too much of that mod pack. Feed the Kraken, as it were. That's going to be unloaded now. It's dead. It's gone. I'm not getting any sounds. Kind of disappointing if you ask me. Where are we? He's happy. They're not. Even Bill's worried. Wilney is awesome. Wilney's a good sport. Probably should have popped those earlier, because I have no idea how far above the ground we are, but I'm guessing it's not that far. Either way, we can't be killed by the G-forces. And I don't think 3 parachutes are going to come snapping loose. Camney and Bill are still a little worried. Winley is like, yeah, we're home! Woohoo! Yeah, we made it! It's apparently the joy of the situation is lost on the rest of them, so... Winley's just going to enjoy... He should get out some champagne and just pop the cork at Bill. Watch it bounce off his visor. That'd be funny. See, this looks like you'd be able to get through with a Kerbal. Not sure if their helmet would fit. Oop. We all just died of G-forces, but that's okay. Speaking of dying of G-forces, I was playing Feed the Kraken, which is the mod pack, and I had some landing legs hooked up to infernal robotics parts. Well, I decided to extend them a little bit early while I still had the nacelles of the... This was on a Minmus lander, and I built the landing legs on some hinges so that it could make them wider and provide a greater base for us to land on, because I was worried about stuff tipping over. So, I had this base. Super base. These landing legs that were supposed to fold outward and then actually extend. And I hit the fold outward button and the spaceship started to spin. And so I was like, and I retracted them and it stopped spinning. But then I made a quick save first because I didn't want to actually kill anyone. But then I just hit the extend button as hard as I could, and the ship just freaked out and started spinning far faster than I could see. And, of course, whatever astronaut was... Oh my god, 2,000 science! Whatever astronaut was killed by G-forces. Alright, so we have Molto Science. First things first. Heavier rocket tree. It's the end of that tech. Heard these things got beefed. But I don't care too much about them right now. Let's get all the wings. Supersonic. What is this? Ah. deposits. Take them. Now we have 300 science left. Big landing legs and a drogue chutes. Let's do that one. Sacrifice things for rovers. Because I like rovers. Next thing we're going to build is going to be a rover. Or maybe not. Actually, next thing I want to do is a probe ship to Jool. Just kind of something simple. I've done a design like it before. We don't have the aerospike engine, so it's going to be a little bit more difficult, and it might be more prudent for me to do in, well, in a kind of regular setting. Yeah, I could have made that thing go smash on the moon. It's always fun to smash things on the moon because it doesn't have an atmosphere, so it just makes your thing freak out less. Alright, let's admire our new parts, just for a second. We're gonna build some sort of space bus. Not sure quite how, but we're gonna build a space bus. Let's see. Cancel what we want. No! Before I break anything else. Alright, so we have the external command seat, which is the great thing. Greatest thing ever. That's the only thing new in that category. We have the mainsail engine. Yay, America. Nothing new there. All the struts, thank goodness. Wait, what? Oh, now I get it. I always wondered why they were called cubic octagonal struts, and now I realized octagonal strut, cubic octagonal strut. Because this is very cubic for an octagonal strut. We got the panels, which are great. We've had this big battery thing, the Rove Mate. All these other decouplers and stuff that I want to use for the probe ship, so those are going to be handy. The nacelles, radial engine body. Never realized these things actually took in air. Or, well, apparently this doesn't. This does. And we have the swept wings tail connector. Utility, we have the micro landing legs, the medium-sized landing legs, not the big ones yet. We have the inline clampatron. Small gear bay, all these wheels, this cool wheel. Yeah, we got some stuff. And as for utility, nothing new. Also, okay, we're gonna start building for the Jool mission next episode. I do want to send a little probe. If we had an ion-powered stuff, I'd do that. I do want to send a little probe out to Eve, because I've never... Oh no, I've been there before. I've never landed anything. No, I'm sorry. Actually, I have landed stuff on Eve before. I've never had anything leave Eve, but that's not what I'm planning to do. So that thing makes me laugh. I do want to send a probe to Eve at some point. I've never been to Moho. I've never been to Dres. I've never been to Elu. So I'm not sure what we want to do next, but I do want to send out a something with a bunch of probes, attached to it. Send it to Eve. Send it to Jool, and have one probe on each of the planets. I don't care if it's a landing probe or a crashing probe, but I want to have a probe on each of the planets. So we're gonna have to pioneer some sort of ultralight landers. Do we have the Oscar B fuel tanks? We do. Do we have the tiniest engines? Yes, we do. So we might want to use these things for landing on, no, we won't. This has a much higher ISP, so I'm gonna use this for landing on the moons of Jool, because they're pretty small. Except for Lathe, I won't put an engine on that, I'll just put a parachute on it. Well, no, I will put an engine on it, but the landing bit won't. You know, you get my point. Alright. Just just realized something. We're not going to be putting... We will be putting transmitters on them. We're not going to be putting Science Juniors on them because they're too big. We're going to be designing the small profile stuff. All these scientific equipments are going to be stuck on. And we might use these. I don't understand. Okay, never mind. When we use this one or one of these things. Of course, this is going to be on the thing for lathe. In some way, shape, or form, because I ought to have it that way. Also, if I send a probe to Eve, it's going to do some sort of gravity. It's going to do some sort of aerobraking, and we're going to have this thing on it so we can compute stuff while we're in the atmosphere. Other than that, that's our future mission planning. Always remember to suggest stuff you think I ought to do, and I'll see you guys next week. Trainman out.